Hi, I'm Kahone Concept, aka Mommy's Little Rockstar, and this is what my song Attention Act's about, or my interpretation of it. I guess I made it, so people are more interested about what I have to say, but let's get into it. Sometimes when I wake up, I'm still sleeping in my head. Dreaming kind of feels good, just not an hour from my bed, or hour from your bed. Whenever I dream a lot, I have big aspirations. I want to do this music thing. I want it to work out so bad, and that's pretty much what I think about most of the time. And throughout school, I always found school as a distraction from that. So every time I'd be in school, I would just get a knot in my stomach. I would absolutely hated it. Was not a fan. And whenever I went to college, the second college I went to, I had to commute like an hour. So I was like an hour away from all my music stuff and like everything I loved. So that stunk. Why do I feel like I'm so sad? I know my life's not even bad. I grew up in a good family. Had a good life. Nothing really bad has ever happened. Very grateful. But there's people out there that's not the case. Bad things happen to them. Awful things. Way worse situations. But yet I still feel sad and anxious. Why? It makes me feel so guilty. I can't help it. And then it just makes me feel awful about myself because it's like these people have way worse, and I'm complaining. It's just a crappy feeling. I guess I'm being over dramatic. Maybe I'm an attention addict. Currently, so on social media and on the internet, we're really working to combat like the stigmas around mental illness. But I'm just gonna be honest. There's definitely people that utilize mental illness and problems like that for clout. Not everyone. There's a lot of people that have problems, but there's a small group of people that do that. And then it creates this thing where even the people that do have these struggles kind of point fingers, and it's like, well, you don't have it as bad as me. Well, you're just looking for attention. You're doing this. You're doing that. Blah 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 blah. And then we're pointing fingers at the wrong people, and then it just makes you think like, my life's not bad. Am I just like being dramatic? Are these real? And ultimately, which I say ultimately a lot, I'm learning that today. You feel how you feel. If you're happy, you're happy. If you're sad, you're sad. That's a fact. You don't need to justify it to anyone. And you don't need to compare how you feel. Your feelings are justified, and you need to embrace that. I know when I messed up, I tend to take things way too far. Do my friends even like me? I'm convenient when they're not. This is an interesting one. I'm sure my friends are very eager to hear what this line means because I feel like they've brought it up a couple times, but I never really gave an answer. And it's weird to think because whenever you're listening to music, you relate to it and like, oh, that's cool. But like from the musician/artist perspective, like we have family, we have friends, and like they hear these songs and they're like, what the heck? Sometimes they might even think you're crazy because they might be hanging out with you one day, you're having a good day, and then they go home and hear your song, and then you're talking about how you're so sad. And they're like, what? It's like my mom hears these and then she gets upset or worried. And it's just, I feel like people don't think about that aspect. So sometimes it makes it awkward. So it's my friends, basically all it means is I struggle. Like I think people don't like me a lot of the time. Even though I know my friends like me, I think deep down, I'm like, I don't think these people like me. I think they're just being nice. And that's the gist of it. I'm convenient when they're not. I just sometimes I feel like I don't like they don't feel the same way about me that I feel about them. And I can't remember names because I'm busy saying things. Awkward silence always chokes me up. Awkward silence is the worst. I cannot stand the awkward silence. It is so awkward, and I try to fill it. For some reason, I was born with this thing where I think it's my responsibility to fill awkward silence. And as I get older, I just kind of shut up a little more. But I just start talking during awkward silence. And like meeting people, I get so flustered with like trying not to be awkward that like I forget their names because I'm just talking and like trying not to be weird and then end up being weird. And then I forget their name and it makes the situation even weirder. Why do I feel like I'm so sad? I know my life's not even bad. I guess I'm being over dramatic. Maybe I'm an attention addict. Same thing. The chorus, it repeats. Then we go to an instrumental break. It goes doot 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 doot. And then we go back to the final chorus, which is basically just like another resolution where I wanted it to feel like the song comes to an end and and there's a solution and it's like a resolution, and that it's like, hey, we're sad, we're happy, we're anxious, we're excited. we feel these ways and we feel them. That's that. Like, we need to embrace how we feel. We don't need to justify it. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to be happy. It's okay to be anxious. It's okay to be excited. It's okay to be weird, but not too weird. I mean, weird's a spectrum. If you're too weird, you're probably doing bad things. But if you're weird, that's good. Embrace it. Thank you very much for listening. Hopefully what I had to say about the song doesn't change your opinion of it or your interpretation, because ultimately how you perceive the song is how it is and how it was meant to be heard. If I wanted to, I've said it before, if I wanted to only have my view of it and that be right, I wouldn't post it. But I want people to hear it, and it's important for you to have your feelings about it and your own personal connection with it. And I don't want what I have to say to affect that, because whatever you think it's about, that's what it's about. Unless you think it's about, like, chickens. I don't know where you would get chickens from, but I guess that's pretty gnarly. But thank you very much. And that's all I have to say on this one. Have a good evening, day, afternoon, morning, night, whatever.